The platform has been still long before the last train passed through. Steel beams hold their weight without sound. Lights remain on along the edge. Nothing here expects to change. The space does not ask for attention. The words can remain at a distance, like signals that continue whether they are noticed or not. The maintenance platform stretches above the tracks. Graded flooring runs in a straight line. Handrails frame the edges evenly. No tools are in use. No footsteps cross the metal. The structure feels prepared, but resting. Below, the rail yard lies quiet. Multiple tracks run parallel into darkness. Their surfaces reflect only faint light. No vibration travels upward. No movement returns from below. Lights along the platform glow steadily. They do not flicker. They do not dim. Each casts a soft pool, then releases it back to shadow. A control box stands near the center. Its panel remains closed. Indicator lights hold their state. No values change. No alert appears. Air moves slowly across the platform. Not enough to feel, just enough to exist. The night feels balanced here. Time begins to loosen. Minutes stop separating themselves. The platform holds the moment without marking it. The rhythm replaces the clock. Cables run beneath the walkway, secured, ordered, still. They disappear into the structure, then reappear farther along. The metal beneath feels cool and solid. Bolts remain tight. No joint shifts. Everything feels aligned and complete. Below, the tracks remain empty. Switches stay locked in position. No signal changes color. The yard stays asleep. Lights continue their quiet repetition. Beam after beam, spacing unchanged. The pattern becomes familiar, calming, predictable. A distant hum exists somewhere in the yard, not coming closer, not moving away. It blends into the background, then disappears entirely. The platform does not react to the hour. It does not anticipate morning. It simply exists in its function, neutral, reliable. Time spreads evenly again. Moments rest beside one another. No sequence forms. The pause feels sufficient. Along the railing, paint markings remain clear. No wear appears. No movement disturbs them. The edge feels secure. Below, gravel between the tracks remains undisturbed. No footprint breaks the surface. No shadow crosses the lines. The ground holds its silence. Lights reflect faintly off the rails. Lines stretch into the distance, then fade where darkness takes over. Nothing returns from it. The control box remains unchanged. No switch flips. No system resets. The state holds without effort. Air continues to pass quietly. Metal continues to cool. Light continues to glow. Each element holds its role. Time loses more of its shape. Minutes feel equal. Presence replaces progression. The night feels wide and calm. The platform does not signal an ending. It does not prepare for use. It remains ready without demand. Contained. Steady. Below, the rail yard stays quiet. Above, the platform stays still. Neither presses against the other. Both remain balanced. No sound announces a transition. No movement suggests return. Nothing resolves. The scene feels complete as it is. The maintenance platform remains above the tracks. The yard remains asleep below. The night remains quiet. Everything stays in place, orderly and undisturbed, through the long, silent hours before dawn. The platform continues to rest above the yard. No light changes its tone. No signal shifts position. The balance remains exactly where it settled. Along the railing, metal stays cool. Bolts hold firm. Nothing loosens or creaks. The structure feels grounded and secure. Below, the tracks remain empty. Steel lines run straight and parallel. Their direction leads nowhere tonight. No vibration returns from them. Lights along the edge keep their spacing, even, measured, unblinking. Each pool of light mirrors the last, then fades behind the platform. Air moves quietly across the grating. Not enough to notice, enough to exist. It carries no sound with it. The control box remains sealed. Panels stay closed. Indicators glow without variation. Nothing asks to be checked. Time loosens further here. Moments stop forming order. They rest quietly beside one another. No direction pulls them forward. Cables beneath the walkway remain fixed. Their paths stay hidden. No tension moves through them. Everything feels anchored in place. The metal surface beneath holds its temperature. Cool, even, unchanging. Footsteps would echo, but none appear. Below the platform, switches remain locked. Signals keep their colors. No route prepares itself. The yard stays asleep. Lights continue their calm repetition. Shadow follows light, then light again. The rhythm feels familiar now, almost unnoticed. A faint hum lingers somewhere in the distance, not approaching, not retreating. It blends into stillness, then disappears. The platform does not anticipate use. It does not prepare to wake. It simply remains available. Neutral, steady. Time spreads evenly once more. Minutes lose distinction. Presence replaces progression. pause feels sufficient. Paint markings along the floor remain clear. Guidance without purpose. Order without demand. Nothing needs to be followed. Below, gravel remains undisturbed. No mark breaks its surface. The ground holds its quiet shape. Nothing crosses it. Lights reflect softly off the rails again. Lines stretch into darkness, then vanish where the yard ends. No return comes from it. The control box remains unchanged. No system cycles. No reset begins. The state holds without effort. Air continues to pass. Metal continues to cool. Light continues to glow. Each element stays aligned. Time loses more of its edges. Moments flatten. The night feels evenly spread. Nothing presses forward. The platform does not signal an ending. It does not narrow or widen. It remains exactly as it is. Prepared. Resting. Below, the yard stays silent. Above, the platform stays still. Neither presses against the other. Both remain balanced. No sound announces a transition. No movement suggests return. Nothing resolves. The scene holds its shape. The maintenance platform remains above the tracks. The rail yard remains asleep. The night remains calm. Everything continues in place, quiet and undisturbed, through the remaining stretch before morning. The platform remains steady above the silent yard. No signal marks a final moment. No system prepares to change. Everything continues without awareness of time. Lights along the edge keep their soft glow. They do not guide. They do not warn. They simply remain, holding the outline of the space. Below, the tracks stay empty. Steel lines fade into darkness. Nothing returns from that distance. The yard feels complete in its stillness. Air moves gently across the grating. Not enough to feel, just enough to exist. The sound disappears almost immediately. The control box remains closed. Indicators hold their quiet state. No value drifts. Nothing asks to be adjusted. Time no longer feels like progression. Minutes lose their edges. Moments rest side by side. The pause feels sufficient. The metal beneath holds its cool weight. Bolts stay tight. No vibration travels through the structure. Everything feels secure and settled. Below the platform, gravel remains untouched. No footprint appears. No shadow crosses the ground. The surface keeps its calm shape. Lights reflect faintly off the rails once more, then fade, then return again. The repetition feels familiar, almost unnoticed. The platform does not anticipate morning. It does not prepare to be used. It remains ready without demand, neutral, reliable. The yard stays asleep, the platform stays awake. Neither presses against the other. Both exist in quiet balance. Time spreads evenly again. No moment feels heavier than another. Nothing urges the scene forward. The stillness holds. No sound announces an ending. No movement suggests return. Nothing resolves. The space remains intact. The platform continues to hover above the tracks. The tracks continue into darkness. The night continues to hold both. Everything stays aligned, orderly, and undisturbed as the final quiet hours pass without